Hello and welcome to episode 48 of the Geek Games podcast. I am Sam Suvak alongside Cody Tetrick. Cody, welcome to February. How's it going?
Oh god, it is February. You said it and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, but yeah, it is February. Hey.
Man.
Black History Month, right?
Oh yeah.
Hey. Really cool. Man, this year's flying already. Like,
really?
January just really went by.
It did. I feel like we're old people, and that's what old people say.
I mean, true. I should have led with hey, this is the best month of the year. You know why?
Why?
It's February 22nd. Is Anthem!
That would have been good. It's too bad you didn't think of that and totally screwed up the intro. So
I mean, yeah. What are you gonna do?
It's fine. Speaking of exciting things that happen in February, there's actually a lot. We're not going to get into all of them because, we'd be here until March if we listed all the exciting things. But the most important thing to remember about February is in approximately 2 weeks. Well, actually, it's going to be exactly in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we'll have our 50th episode. And we're pretty excited about that. Yeah, celebration. It's going to be a good time. So one of the things that we want to do during the 50th episode is kind of have a little mailbag section where we take your questions, and they're going to be the Ask Me Anything type of questions. So we know our friends, and we know they're going to throw some crazy, crazy stuff in there. So we're excited about that. But yeah, it can be video game related. It can also not be video game related. And just something that would spur off a good conversation to have a good time.
Yeah. Like you want to know what kind of deodorant we use, stuff like that.
I mean, that's not what I would have thought of, but I mean, sure, guys. Also, let me state for the record, we reserve the right to not answer any question if it is deemed completely inappropriate.
Anything. Come on. We have to...
Oh.
Come on.
No, I mean, no. There's places it could go that would just not gonna go there. So,
all right, let's keep it PG in here, guys. Let's
I mean, we can go PG-13. I mean, okay. we could do a light R. I'm okay with a light R.
What is the light R rating? Please tell me.
Language?
Maybe we should use video game terms. So we'll do an M for mature.
Yeah, we can do M for mature. Yeah, that's acceptable to me. I like that. So yeah, reach out to us. You can email us at contact@geekheartgames.com and just go ahead and start sending in those questions. You got 2 weeks. I mean, approximately 2 weeks, because actually you're gonna have to get them in before we record, like the Friday before. But you got some time to think about it. Think about some real good stuff. So
you can also post to our Twitter if you'd like.
I mean, you could, but then everybody's going to see what your question is, and it won't be a surprise. So if you want your question to be a surprise.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah, you can surprise questions.
Do what you want, guys. It's fine.
Just get the questions in. That's all we care about.
Any way that you want to, we're open. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Is there any other housekeeping we need to talk about?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, I just said that because I wanted to take a drink, and I was like, let's let Cody say something while I'm taking my drink, and then you just didn't have anything to say. So
sorry.
Sorry.
No, I don't believe there's any housekeeping, but I'll fill the time.
Too late, Cody. It's too late.
Oh, too late? Oh, damn it.
All right. So we're going to get into what we've been playing, and I was going to kick things off with just a kind of quick update on Resident Evil 2, because since we last spoke, I completed Leon's campaign, and I had a real good time with it. I had a lot of fun. I thought back to stuff Cody had said about how, he's watching it. It's like, I don't know that I want to play this right now. And as I was running back and forth from the same location for the 10th time, I was like, man, if this was any game besides Resident Evil, would it be able to get away with this? And I feel strongly that the answer is no. I don't think I would go to that much effort for anything else. But it's fine. It's a really fun game. there's not a lot of boss fights, it seems like. I remember like Resident Evil 4 like had a bunch of big like tough boss fights, and it's pretty okay. And then you get to there's a couple like at the very end, and it was cool. Oh, also once I got to the Mr. X part, like that game got a lot more scary because like you had to like run away a lot. So anyway, it's a lot of fun. I recommend it. I started the Claire second run campaign, and just immediately it seemed like much harder. I'm like, what just happened? I'm playing on the same difficulty. I don't know what happened. After my like first cutscene ended, like immediately a zombie grabbed me. And like as I was trying to run away, like 2 other zombies grabbed me. And so I was like, ah. So I had super low health. I was going through. I played for like 20 or 30 minutes. And like I finally got to the save room, and I was so excited about the item box. So I was like, let me organize my stuff in the item box. And then I left without saving because like I just forgot. And I immediately died. And it took me like way back to the beginning. So I was so angry. And so I needed to take a break. I was like, I'm going to take a little bit of a break from Resident Evil 2. I will go back to it, but right now we're still on a break. So in my anger, I was like, you know what? I want to go play some Black Ops 4. I haven't played that in a while. So I went to go play it, and I had to have an update. So I was like, okay, well, I guess maybe I'll play some Battlefield 5, because I haven't played that in a while. Guess what, Cody? It had to have an update.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that's how it goes.
Well, screw this. I guess I'll just go back and play some Destiny 2. But guess what, Cody?
Another update.
It had to have a fucking update. So I was mad about Resident Evil 2. I was mad about all these updates. I was like, fuck this. So I'm like, let's go see what's on my Xbox. I should just go do something else. And like the first row games on my Xbox, I was like, oh, I've got Crackdown that I've still never played. And of course, another exciting thing in February is Crackdown 3 is coming out February 15th. So, Cody, don't make that face about it. Don't even.
What? I was just yawning. Nothing happening here.
So, first off, Crackdown is super old. I think it was like 2007 when it came out. So, I mean, this game is dated. It's you know, the controls are not what you would expect or desire. But this game is fun, Cody. Okay. This is like, it's like the driving around from Burnout Paradise, but then like you get out and you shoot people. And I'm like, I'm playing it. I'm like, I feel like this is what I wanted Grand Theft Auto to be, but it never was, because Grand Theft Auto was always like too hard and too boring. So this game, it's great. So apparently you're some type of super soldier, and like as you go through, you level up, and so you get better and better. So like I started out with like a 10-foot jump, but I was going around the city like picking up these agility orbs, and so as you're doing that, you're leveling up your jump. And so then I got to like a 15-foot jump, and so I was like jumping real high, and like I'm like, I just want to like keep getting this jump and be able to like jump as high as possible, because like, you know, I love being able to have fun movement in games. And so this one's really fun. So you've got that. Of course, you're shooting people. The shooting feels like, okay, it's not like, I don't think you're here for the shooting, really. But then one of your other abilities is strength. And so like you can pick stuff up and throw it at enemies. And of course, like the more you do, the more you level up your strength. And then you can pick up bigger stuff. And so I was going around, I'm like, just trying. I'm like, can I pick up this car? And he's like, ooh, but he couldn't pick up the car yet. But like, I know once I get him leveled up, he could. And then like, there were just these random boulders over on the side of the road. I was like, I wonder if I can climb these boulders. And so I just started jumping up them, and I like jumped up to the top of the boulders eventually. And then I saw some water, and I was like, oh, I wonder what happens if I jump in the water. And I jumped in the water, and it just started swimming. And I just like swam across to the other side of the city. And I was like, this is crazy. Like anything I see, I can do in this game. I was like, this is like a precursor to Breath of the Wild. Cause like anything, I'm like, this is amazing. Like this game is so underrated. So
time out. You just compared Crackdown to Breath of the Wild.
I did.
So many people just like almost wrecked their cars out of anger.
For real though. God. I mean, before before Breath of the Wild. Like, here's a game where, like, you could just do anything. You just had to level up a bit, and then you could do it. So it's like, yes, I believe it was a valid statement. But yeah, so this is one of those games where, like, I don't feel a lot of desire to keep playing Crackdown right now, but, like, seeing the bones of this game, I'm like, oh, I think, like, Crackdown 3, I think I'm really gonna have a good time with this game, because I think it's gonna fill that kind of, like, super-powered kind of agility stuff that I like in a video game, and it's just gonna be, like, fun chaos running around the city. Oh, as I was playing, I was like, this also kind of reminds me of Saints Row 4, because, like, you had superpowers and you were kind of jumping really big and, like, kind of flying around. And I'm like, if this Crackdown 3 feels like the same as that, I'm gonna love it. So I'm really excited for it now, and I'm gonna have a good time in it. So yeah, Crackdown. Who knew?
Yeah. Going back to your Resident Evil talk, though.
I forgot it again.
We have a little bit of
Oh,
news.
dear. Cody, you're so good at this, and I'm so bad. Okay.
Yeah. So they just came out and said that Netflix is going to have a Resident Evil TV show, and it's going to be from the same people who've been making the movies. Does that excite you?
Oh, fuck yeah, it excites me, Cody. I mean, who do you think you're talking to? I'm so excited about this. Although, apparently I wasn't excited enough because I forgot to talk about it last week. And then we said we were going to talk about it again. And then I forgot about it again. But yeah, I love Resident Evil. I love the world. And I think, like, a series would be perfect for it. So I can't wait to see it. I'm sure it's going to be like a reboot, reimagining. Like, it's not going to be the same universe as the movies.
Yeah.
It's like that's kind of played out. But yeah, I mean, what if we had like another young Leon Kennedy like going around Raccoon City doing stuff? I'd be like, yeah, this would be great. I'm in for it.
It's gonna be live action. I kind of in a way wish it would be animated, because after watching Castlevania and seeing what they did with that story, like, I really feel like Resident Evil, like, they could tell a really good story if it was animated. They could still tell a good story with live action. I just feel like with animation there's so much more they can do and like get away with. And so I'm excited to see what they do with it.
There's been an animated movie for Resident Evil, and I forget what it was called, but I watched it and I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was very well done. So I see what you're saying, but I mean, I want a live action one. I think I'm excited about this. So
they gotta get someone who's just like super jacked enough to punch some boulders and get some Chris Redfield action in there, you know?
Because those fucking arms, man.
Those arms, man.
I mean, they're breaking sleeves, is what they're doing.
They are.
Okay. So in proper host fashion, I was thinking about my next transition, and I got a little stumped here, because this morning in the shower, I was trying to like think of something fun I could say for it. All right, because I like alliteration, right? And Cody, you're gonna tell us some more about Elder Scrolls Online. And so I was like, if this is gonna like keep happening, it needs to have like a proper title for its segment. And so I think I'd come up with two options that I was gonna let you pick from. First option, the Elder Scrolls era. Okay, I mean, it's kind of, what are you going to do? There's two words. There's an E, there's an S. You can't pick a word that starts with both E and S. And then I think that my second one, I was going to like get on thesaurus.com and try to find some better words, but I forgot. So I didn't do that. So my second one is kind of stealing from something you said like a previous episode. And I was going to go with the Elder Scrolls Sanctum, which, I mean, I don't know if we can have two sanctums.
I prefer era, I guess.
Era. Okay. All right, everybody. It's time for this week's Elder Scrolls era. I tried.
So yeah. All I've been playing lately is Elder Scrolls Online. I guess you could say the MMO has finally sunk its teeth into me, and that's all I want to play.
Now, Cody, I was thinking about this because you've told me before that you got like really addicted to World of Warcraft, right, back in the day.
Yeah.
So what are the warning signs that I need to be looking out for? How will I know if you have a problem with Elder Scrolls Online?
If I ever am like, hey, we can't do the podcast tonight because I got Elder Scrolls Online business to do, you probably, that's a big red flag.
Okay, but here's the thing. Are you going to tell me that we can't do the podcast because of Elder Scrolls? Or are you going to tell me something else? Are you going to be like, oh, I'm sick tonight, I can't do the podcast? You're not going to tell me that you're doing it because of Elder Scrolls, right?
That's a good point. You should probably monitor, like check in with other people. Like if I'm like, oh hey, I went out with my brother, like contact my brother. You know. All
right, Chad, you're on alert, dude. You gotta like keep tabs on Cody. You gotta check in with me. We gotta keep this. We gotta keep monitoring the situation.
I think I'll be fine because like there was something about World of Warcraft that just kind of like kept me wanting to play all the time. Mm-hmm. With Elder Scrolls Online, it's like I played for a period and I'm like, all right, I want to like take a break for a little bit. And I'm not sure if it's because like Elder Scrolls Online is action combat, so like I'm constantly having to be doing something, whereas in World of Warcraft you usually are in one place and like you just throwing fireballs and stuff like that.
Well, and realistically, yeah. I mean, we've only got to worry about this until February 22nd.
That's true, yeah. Like once Anthem comes, I'm a mixed man. I'm a mixed man together, you know. Yeah,
but it won't be all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I've just been kind of waiting for the open demo for Anthem to hit. So I've been playing a lot of Elder Scrolls Online. Last we left off, I had hit level 20, and I've done a bunch of stuff. So currently I'm level 34. And so level 30, I got another one of these chests. Do you know the one I got the Flame Wolf from? So I was like, fuck yeah. Flame chest. Excited for this one. Man, let me tell you, level 30 sucked.
But let me warn you, Cody, like in real life, when you hit year 30, it's gonna suck too.
Yeah, good point. So first chest, level 20 chest, 5 items, right? Level 30 chest, 4 items. That's already a downgrade.
That's some bullshit.
One of the 4 items was a poison that I could apply to my weapons.
Once? Just once?
Just what? It's like a stack of 50, and they go away every time they proc. Like one goes away. What the fuck
is proc?
It's like when I stab, and like there's a percentage chance that the poison will apply itself. Oh, hit my desk. Sorry. And so if say the percentage chance triggers, it deals the damage from the poison.
But what is the word proc?
I don't know. It's just video game lingo I've always used. I don't really know what it means.
Okay. Just checking. I mean, we had a learning moment and we've missed it because we don't know what it is.
Learning with Geek card games. When Cody uses the word proc, he means that like something activates.
Okay. I'll take it.
Okay. All right.
So you got 50 uses. You got 50 uses of it? Well, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I might have to remember to apply it and stuff like that.
Oh, that sucks.
And so, like, one of the cards is on fire, because that's the special item from the chest. Mm-hmm. So last time it was the Flame Wolf mount. So I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, like, this is gonna be something cool. Card flips over. It's a costume. I'm like, all right, I don't mind a costume, but what is it? And it's like this, like, Roman gladiator armor, but on the Khajiit, it's like way too big, like it's bulky, and then like I'm an assassin character, so like it's like this looks weird, but it's just bulky, and like my tail looks funny hanging out the back. I'm not a big fan of it, so I was like, whatever. That kind of sucked. The 2 big like highlights that I've done this week. So I stepped into the PvP battlegrounds for the first time. Mm-hmm. And this is like kind of there's so everything you do in the game opens up a skill line, and like you level up those skill lines by either like using like the weapons. So like say I use dual wielding weapons, so when I get a kill with a dual wield weapon, it levels up my dual wielding. If I use a spell from my assassination tree, I level up assassination. So for the PvP battle, there's an assault and a defense. And so in the assault one, there's a skill I want to get, and in the defense one, there's something I want to get. So I gotta level these up by doing PvP. So I'm like, okay, well, let's hop in there. I'm sure it's not gonna take very long. First game. So the cool thing about PvP in Elder Scrolls Online is it's 4v4v4, because there is 3 like factions in the game, and so they mimic that by having there's 3 teams all the time. And so first game I played was Domination.
Okay, yeah.
And so it's there's 3 flags on the map. Everyone can go run around and capture the flags. Pretty good. I ended up with like 8 kills and like only 2 deaths in that game. Found out that like it's just really handy if you just throw a bunch of AoE on the flags because people are standing around them. And they just kind of stand in it and they don't realize that, hey, arrows are being rained down on you.
Yeah.
So that was good. Did great there. Jumped to level 3 in one game.
Nice.
For both assault and defense. I was like, fuck yeah. Next 2 games went very poorly. Very, very poorly. I guess there are people who just like, they're like, oh, I know how to PvP. Yeah. And like there are certain abilities that are better than other abilities. And I did not realize that. And so I was getting destroyed. But I was still having fun. Like, because when I would get a kill, I felt like, oh, it's because I like not had more skill, but I just like knew what I like wanted to do better than the other person. And so they have a couple different modes. Like there's just a straight up team deathmatch. I'm not a big fan of that one because it just kind of becomes like who can have the best death ball, like of 4 people like running around, and then like you throw in all these pets. Like the mage, the kind of like a mage in the game can have like 3 pets active at one time, and it's like very scary when you have 7 things charging at you.
Yeah.
The other game mode I played was something called Crazy King, which is there's a king of the hill point, and it stays there for a set period of time. You get points for standing on it, and you get points for killing people around it, and then it jumps to another area, and so you got to keep roaming around. Mm-hmm. I feel like this one I would like more if I had a coordinated team, because we had 2 dudes who just would run off and like try to spawn camp in the people's spawn area, and it just like it was only me and this other guy really fighting.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of fun, like, and then there's like an entirely other side of PvP called the Alliance War, where like you go represent the alliance / faction you picked at the beginning of the game when you created your character, and it's like this massive like it's a massive map, and like you roam around the map, and like the point is like you're collecting these items, and it's pretty cool. So I'm excited to eventually try that. But like the PvP in this, I was actually shocked to find I actually kind of liked it.
Do you have to be a certain level before you can do the PvP?
I think it's from level 10 to level 49 but there's no like level advantage or anything. It's just like they kind of scale everybody. So yeah, level 10 to level 49 gets an entire battleground bracket to themselves, and then when you hit level 50, you're obviously placed with level 50 people, because that's when I believe the champion point system, which I'm nowhere close to, gets implemented. So it's pretty cool. Like the kind of 4v4v4 aspect of it, I really like. It's just it's something different. It's different from the usual like 4v4. And so yeah, I've been doing that, trying to level up the assault and the defense skill line. The other big thing I did this week was I went back and I thought for a while I was doing the Morrowind storyline. Turns out, no, I went back to the main game, like the base game, and that's what I was doing. I couldn't get I was like, okay, all right.
That's fine. It's new content for you, so yeah.
Yeah, it's all new content. I've never, because when I played Elder Scrolls Online when it came out like 5 years ago, and I can't remember anything that happened at all. Like, so I'm going to spoil the beginning part of this, and then I'm going to get very vague from there, because I think, I'm sorry, it's a 5-year-old game. If you really like that, please tune away for the next like. I feel like
previously I've spoiled the beginning of Elder Scrolls Online, because I think I tried it and I talked about it.
Oh, maybe you did.
So it's already spoiled. Okay. I think it's fine.
Okay, so I went to this other part. So I left Somerset, got on the boat, was like, all right, I'm gonna go meet this person for the Fighters Guild, and I land on this island, and this person runs up to me. It's no name, just a hooded figure. I was like, oh, hey, what's up? How's it going? It's like, oh, why are you doing eyebrows? What are you?
I don't know, because like I'm excited about who this hooded figure is.
Okay.
In all honesty, you said hooded figure, and I immediately thought of the merchant from Resident Evil 4, and that always makes me happy. So.
Oh, okay, reasonable. So she's like, oh, my benefactor would love to meet you. He has a proposition. I'm like, okay, cool. This must be like, this is where I was like, oh, this is the Morrowind storyline. They're like, I'm gonna go meet the benefactor, and this is so. It's a journey. Like I had to hop on the Flame Wolf and ride for a while. And so I get to this dock, and there's a boat, and the benefactor's in the boat. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So I'm galloping along. I get on the boat, I dismount, and I'm like walking through the boat. I'm like, what's kind of weird boat they have here? Like, like there's like some skulls and like candles everywhere. I'm like, this is a little weird.
Ooh.
And I round the corner to where the benefactor's arrow is, and it's this dude who's tied up. And I talk to him, and he looks up and is like, I'm like, what's going on? And then dudes appear behind me and knock me out. And then a cutscene appears. And it's my limp body being dragged towards an altar where some dude is stabbing people and sacrificing them to what I assume is a Dark Lord. So they throw me up. It goes into first person. I'm looking up at the dude as he drives a dagger into my heart.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, damn, this got real serious. And then I wake up in a place called Cold Harbor. And I was like, that's a hell of an intro to a game. I'll fucking give you that one right there. That was pretty cool. And so this starts the main, like, big quest line dealing with Cold Harbor.
To clarify, I never played that part. I was thinking of something else. I might not even be thinking of the same game. It's fine.
So, like, the kind of premise is, so you had your soul sacrificed to a Daedric prince named Molag Bal. He is the I forgot I'm podcasting with a 10-year-old.
His name's Molag Bal?
Molag Bal. Molag Bal. Dear God, Sam. He is the Daedric Prince of Schemes, and the guy who sacrificed me is one of his, like, lieutenants. And so I wake up in this place called Cold Harbor, and I have no soul now. Like, this is the place where you go when you don't have a soul. And so I meet up with some people, and they're like, we're going to get you out of here. We got to go save this prophet guy. So I go save the prophet, and what kind of transpires is this big, long journey where you learn who the prophet is. You learn about these 5 champions. It was called the 5 Companions, is what they were called. And they had attempted to turn their king into a Dragonborn. So I feel like they were trying to tie this back to Skyrim, because in Skyrim you were a Dragonborn. I feel like they were trying to, like, oh, if you played Skyrim, you know what this is. And so, like, you can find out that it didn't work, and that what happened is...
I can't imagine why it didn't work. Jeez.
When they did this, it opened up a rift, and that's when Molag Bal came through and could steal people's souls into Cold Harbor. I'm gonna call him MB from here on out, okay?
That's probably for the best.
And so what you end up doing is you end up going through and you're rescuing the 5 companions, and then you find out that one of the companions is the dude who stabbed you with the dagger, and he betrayed everyone, and he's the one who helped Molag Bal MB show up. And so there's big twists and turns. I swear to God, like, it's not even,
I don't even know why it's funny. It's just funny.
And so, like, it's a very long. It's like not long. It is long. It's a very fun. After this podcast, I'm retiring. It's a fun storyline, and, like, it's really cool, and, like, you get to meet these interesting characters, and they all have, like, a backstory to them, and, like, it's really beautiful. And so, like, you're playing through, and then it hits a point, and it's like, hey, go do this other stuff. Now, the issue is, I played this very late at night, because I can't sleep ever, and I went to sleep, and I woke up, and the next day I came home from work, and I started playing again, and I didn't remember what had happened, like, at the tail end of the quest. And next thing you know, they throw me into this thing where, like, hey, we're going to go invade Cold Harbor and bring the fight to MB. And I'm like, okay, cool. But then, like, the entire time, like, they're setting up, like, this is, like, the final confrontation with MB. And, like, you're going to stop this. And I'm like, all right, well, cool. Where are my other people? Like, where are the 5 people I just saved? Like, it takes a very, like... It gets very disjointed, because, like, out of nowhere, you're not dealing with the same people you've been dealing with. These are new people, and it's, like, very long. Like, it took me 2 days to beat this one like section. Like that's how long it was. And you
said when you woke up and like you didn't remember how all this had happened. We were just talking about how is it possible that you've been sleepwalking, but you've been playing video games while you were kind of asleep, and that's why you're not remembering it as well.
That is a possibility.
It happens.
That could be it. But that wasn't the case here, because what happens is at the end of that quest, they apparently are like, hey, go stop this thing called the plane meld, which is like MB is trying to like take all of Tamriel, or Nern as they call it. I wasn't really catching, like, I guess those are interchangeable. They're trying to take all of Nern into Cold Harbor so he can have
a funny word too.
Yeah, they can have all these. He could have all the souls to like power his weapons and things. And so I stopped all that, and then like they're like, all right, hey, now it's time to go back to that other storyline we were doing for the entire like beginning of the game. Like I was like, this is so disjointed. Like, how did you get here? Like, and like the things that happen are really cool, and I'm not going to spoil it because like it's a very long quest line. It's worth playing if you're going to play Elder Scrolls Online. You're going to have to. You get a ton of skill points from it, so that's really helpful for like learning all these skills you get. It was the section in Cold Harbor where like before you go back to the 5 companions is so long that I stopped and was like, I'm making a new character because I am fucking bored.
Oh, wow.
So I made a warden. That's the dude who can summon the bear. Mm-hmm. And I played him for like 5 minutes. Got him to like level 10. And was not 10, 5. And was like, I probably should go finish that storyline. Like, let me get back to that. Because I like my Khajiit Nightblade. Like, I don't know. Well, I'm like finding a rotation that I really enjoy. Like, I just got this ability where like it's like a buff I apply to myself, and when I do it, like all my hits heal me. But then also I just upgraded it. So now it also returns my stamina, and the stamina is the main stat I use for my attacks. So like I'm
That's
constantly
what
like.
He said.
I'm... Stop it! I'm trying to have a serious conversation about Elder Scrolls. Anyways, so the final mission of this storyline is to like end it. Is honestly one of the most like fun and like legitimately they turn you into a god. Like you have all these abilities, your hits are hitting for like 1 million.
Holy shit.
And you fight MB. And I'm not going to tell you how it ends because there's a twist and it's like holy shit. But it's like one of the funnest fights I've ever done in video games, and like it was really cool. And you come out of it and like it's like, oh, like god damn, that was really cool.
So then you just lose your godlike abilities afterwards?
Yes, but you get your soul back, and that's kind of the trade-off. Okay. It's like, oh, hey, I finally get my soul back. And so it was a really cool storyline. I'm glad I did it, and like it gave me a bunch of skill points and things, which were helpful. I can see why, because when the game first came out, it didn't have like people were like, oh, the story's kind of weird, and like I can see that now because of like it's just like you're like you're driving in a straight line, and then there's a sudden fucking just dip, and it's like, hey, here's this Cold Harbor section that's gonna take up like 3 days of your life, and I was like, oh, okay, what the fuck, but like a really fun and like there's so many like lines that were quotable. Like one of them that stuck out to me was you have to make this choice, and the guy's like one of the guys that you're talking to is like, you can't stand on the edge of the ocean and wait for it to open up for you. Like you got to make the choice to swim across. And I was like, huh, that's a pretty fucking good statement, dude. Like, goddamn.
Yeah.
Want to take a second to spotlight one of my favorite characters in video games, Sir Codwell, who is also what they call you when you lose your soul and you go to Cold Harbor is a soul shriven. He's also a soul shriven. He is this delightful British man who knows everything about Cold Harbor. He can teleport, and like he's just the piece de resistance. He has a pot on his head that he uses for a helmet. And I found out you can get this pot as a helmet, as like a costume piece, if you do this thing called Codwell's Gold. And what it is when you play through So when you start the game, you pick a faction. There's 3 factions: the Aldemary Dominion, the Ebonheart Pact, and the Daggerfall Covenant. So if you do whatever one you pick, you can do the main quest line for. And then after you do that one, what you're supposed to do is go play through the Ebonheart Pact and then go play through the Daggerfall Covenant story. And if you do all that, it's called Codwell's Gold, and he rewards you with the helmet. I'm not doing that right now because holy shit, is that going to take a long time? And I want to go experience Morrowind. Yeah. But I'm going to come back to it and do it because it seems worth it for the helmet. But such a delightful character, and every time I interacted with him, he was just like, he like speaks in rhymes sometimes, and it's fucking hilarious.
I like it.
And I'm excited because I just found out the other day and elsewhere, we're going to find out like who he was before he became a Soul Shriven. And I'm like, fuck yeah. Cool. And that's a cool thing, is by playing the main storyline, I found out who characters were in Somerset that I never, like, I was like, oh, I don't know who these characters are. But by playing this original thing, I knew who they are. I know characters who are going to show back up in Elsewhere, like one of the main characters in Elsewhere. He is one of the 5 companions that I got to play with. And I'm like, fuck yeah, like, cool, I learned a bunch of shit from this. Awesome. And I'm having a great time with this game, like, and I'm sorry, the people were probably like, oh my god, Cody, like, shut the fuck up about Elder Scrolls Online. It's a really fun game. Like, the work they've put into this game really shows. Like, there's so much to do. Like, there's so many storylines I haven't even touched yet. And, like, I'm excited. Sam is doing something with her foot. I'm not really sure.
I'm sorry, the cat's under here messing with stuff. Let me just get her out for just a second.
Okay. I'm just going to keep going on.
Okay, let's go.
And so, yeah, like, everything they've done with this game is, like, it really shows, and it's beautiful. Jesus, Sam just threw that cat. That's like animal cruelty.
What?
You gotta, like, edit that out of the podcast. You just, like, threw her.
No, I set her down. She's just causing trouble.
It's like a fucking frisbee. You threw that cat. But yeah, like, I'm really enjoying the game a lot. It's really cool. It's, like, I'm so excited for Elsewhere to get here. I am a little worried because, like, the reason I stopped playing the Warden was I stopped and I looked around at the, like, main hub area I was in, and everyone was playing a Warden because it's the newest class, and I was like, I don't want to be that guy when the Necromancer drops and everyone's playing the Necromancer, but I really want to play a Necromancer, so fuck these people.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, I don't know, and, like, I'm kind of tempted to buy, like, the entire, like, Year of the Dragon expansion pack and, like, play all the DLCs. Because it seems like a lot of fun, and I don't know. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the game. I'm level 34, so I got 16 more levels, so I hit level 50. And I'm excited to see what happens when I get there. Hopefully level 40's flame chest is cooler. Hopefully.
That's just
I'm kind of worried it's going to keep going down in items. Like, it's going to be like, oh, here's only 3. And, like, here's a thing for your house. Oh, also, going back to last week where I talked about how everything scales to your level and stuff. Yes, they apparently did an update called Tamriel 1. And what they did was it added player housing and it added level scaling. So when you're in a dungeon, you can play with someone who's like 20 levels higher than you, and everything is scaled equally. And, like, that's a really cool thing. Like, not a lot of games do that. And so I'm, like, really enjoying that. Because, like, last night I played a dungeon with a level 49 person, and it was a lot of fun. We wiped at one point because we didn't know the mechanics. And I like that because, like, it means there's going to be a challenge as I progress through this game. And I'm having fun with it. It's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend Elder Scrolls Online. And we were right last week with it is on Xbox Game Pass. So If you have an Xbox, you can play the base game for free. And it's really worth it.
Cool. Well, there you go.
Also, sorry, I keep forgetting to say things. I found out last night that the base Elder Scrolls Online game is $5 at GameStop. So if you really want to play it, go buy the disc for $5.
Although I feel like that is also available for free on Game Pass.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Like,
oh,
that's what I was. Yeah.
The online version is like, I thought you meant like Elder Scrolls Skyrim or something.
No. That's probably also
you know what? This Elder Scrolls business is real confusing because there's so many different things and there's like so many titles that it's just like,
yeah, because Elder Scrolls 4 is called Oblivion, and they kept referencing Oblivion in the game last night, and I was like, are these supposed to be connected? I don't really know. I kind of want to, like, do a Google search and find out, but yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. All right. Well, thank you for that Elder Scrolls era. That was lovely. Yeah. All right. So I've just got one more game to talk about, and it's called The Adventure Pals. Now, I don't know if you've heard of this game. If anyone has heard of this game, it's a platformer, but also like a little bit of RPG stuff in it too, and it's very cartoony looking, and it isn't something that I would imagine that I would want to play. But here's what happened. So I was listening to this podcast called the Handsome Phantom Podcast, and it was like their first episode for the show, and they'd gotten a bunch of game codes to give away, and so one of them they were giving away, I won, and it was for the Adventure Pals. And this is from Massive Monster, the developer, so thank you to them for giving out the code. It's on Steam. It's on other platforms as well, but I've been playing on Steam. And so basically, you're this kid named, I think his name is Winston, and it's his birthday, and his dad gives him this giraffe, this little giraffe that's his pal now. The giraffe's named Sparkles, and while the birthday party's going on, like this evil guy named Mr. B comes and kidnaps your dad. And so like pretty much the whole game is like you got to try to go rescue your dad from Mr. B. And in order to do that, you have to go through the world and go to these different levels and do your platforming and collect rubies to do different things and progress. And so like it's got like the base, like before you go into the levels, it's kind of like a new Super Mario Brothers or something where you just kind of wander around. And when you're in that area, you're riding on the giraffe. But then once you get into the level and you're in the platforming section, you're just walking and the giraffe is in a backpack on your back and his head's kind of sticking out. And he has this thing that he does where you jump and then you can hold down the jump button and the giraffe sticks his tongue out and does a little helicopter propeller, and so you kind of do a glide down, which is
I'm into it. Yeah.
Okay. This game is so silly. Like everything about it is just hilarious. So you're playing with that. Eventually you go get a new pal named Mr. Rock, and he's just this little rock, and he like floats around with you, and then when you're fighting, like Mr. Rock will come out and attack enemies too. So your main attack, you've just got a sword, and so you're hitting your enemies, and yeah, you can do like a little backup dodge, and it's pretty simple combat. But as you're fighting enemies, your experience bar is filling up, and so whenever you level up, it just like immediately pauses the game, and it makes like a huge big deal out of you leveling up, which is awesome because like, you know, you did something good, you want to feel good about it, you're like, yeah, let's make a big deal out of this. And so every time you level up, it'll either give you a new ability or it'll give you 3 choices of abilities, and you can pick which one you want. And so like as I've been going, like I got this one ability where when I'm in combat, just sometimes Sparkles the giraffe will like reach his neck out and like grab an enemy and like pull me towards him for like a special attack. I've got, just last night, I finally unlocked an ability where damaging enemies gives me some health back, which that's fantastic. I've been jonesing for that one for a while. There's different stuff you can do about like picking up gold and different stuff like that. You can like upgrade Mr. Rock with your abilities, but they're pretty cool. So just as you're going, you're just getting more and more powerful. But you're going through basic platforming, it's fine. You're talking to these people in between worlds to like get your little quests, and they're just like really, really funny. So like everything about this like appears like a little kid's game, kind of, but like the humor behind it is like so funny. There's this group of foxes that's like playing in a band by your house, and so you go and talk to them, and they're like, hey, yeah, you need to go on this quest and like get us this special herb so that we can make you a potion. And you're like, oh, okay, so this band of foxes is stoners, like obviously. And then like anytime you like travel to the new level, you're going through a well. And so you like go down one well, you go up the next well, and you're talking to somebody and they're like, yeah, our well system is like super clean and great. It's not like those nasty sewers from the Mushroom Kingdom. You're like, oh damn, throwing shade at Mario. So that's pretty funny. I came across this, there's just this random whale that's hanging out like by the dock. And you go talk to her and she's like, yeah, like I really want to go like see the world, but like I'm ashamed of my body, and like I need something to like, you know, cover me up and like give me the confidence to go out into the world. And so you're like, okay, I'm going to go try to find something for you. And so in one of the levels, you find this little bikini bottom and you pick it up and you take it to the whale and you're like, hey, here's this, I found it for you. And she's like super excited about it. And she puts it on and it like stretches to like, and then there's just this whale wearing a bikini bottom and it gives her the confidence she needs. And so like she goes out into the world and it's really cool. So there's that. The inside the levels when you're playing, there's just like weird random monsters that you're fighting, okay? But like one of them I was playing and I started hearing this noise and I'm like, what is that? I mean, it kind of sounds like somebody's farting. And so like I went along and I found this guy. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot one of the most important parts, right? Okay, so Mr. B, what he does is he kidnaps people and then he turns them into hot dogs. And so they're like hot dog people, which they're like a hot dog. And I think they have like a bun around them. And so you're fighting like some of the enemies are these hot dog people. And so there's a certain type of hot dog person that you can find that poops out these explosives. And so like that's the noise I was hearing. Like this guy kept pooping out these explosives. And so like you have to throw Mr. Rock at the explosives to destroy them before you get too close. So you know me and my like 12-year-old humor. I loved it. I thought that was great. As you're going, last night I found a fun mechanic, because you know how you will do things where like, oh, this wall is blocked, you have to go find the thing that will unlock this wall, right? So in this game, apparently that thing is cats. So you're walking and you'll find a sleeping cat, and so you go walk by it and it wakes up and it gets real excited. It has like hearts in its eyes because it's like, I don't know, it loves you. And the cats fly, so it like pops up in the air. It has these little wings and it flies. As they do, right? And it just follows you around and it'll follow you until you find a little cat bed, and then it'll go lay in the cat bed and that unlocks the wall, and then you can keep going, which I think is just one of the best mechanics of all time. And then I just got to a level where it's this, I think it's called the Wasteland, and there's like these weird little dinosaur monsters that I have to fight now. And apparently the dinosaurs have like taken over. So when I go in to like get my quests and talk to people, I'm talking to the dinosaur overlords. And then the people that they have enslaved are toast people. So they look like little slices of bread, but they're people. And the dinosaurs have enslaved the toast people, because why not, right? So I'm talking to them and they want me to go like find their toast person leader and free her. So I've talked to a few of them, and then one of them starts talking to me in a foreign language, and then its buddy is like, oh, sorry, that one's French toast. And I'm like, I can just see right now that these developers made toast people just so they could put that joke in the game. Just so they could do it. And I love that. There's puns galore in this game, which, you know, I like. I believe this was a Kickstarter game because, well, first there's this one part where you're in your quest area, you're talking to people, and there's this kiosk, and there's two guys, and it's like the adventure dudes, and they're like talking about this game that they're making, and it's obviously the guys who made Adventure Pals, like talking about their game, but just like making fun of it and joking. And then there's in one of the worlds, there's this, I think it's like a Hall of Fame area, and you go inside and it's clearly like, these are people who backed it on Kickstarter for like high amount. And so like, they've got like a cartoon portrait and they have like a fun little saying about them. And so there's only like 10 of them. So I guess those were like the highest value ones, but it was really fun that it was in there like that.
Is the game 2D or is it 3D?
Okay, so when you're when you're doing the platforming levels, it's 2D, but then when you're in like the world going around and like getting your quests and talking to people, it's not 3D. I guess technically it's still 2D, but flatter instead of like a side scrolling. Or maybe it's like isometric kind of a little, maybe. I think maybe it's isometric. So yeah, but it's just like the actual gameplay is just 2D side scrolling. But yeah, it's just like, it's hilarious, and it keeps me very entertained, and I've just been having a blast with it. And like, it's just like one of those things, like I said, like I never would have picked this out to play myself, but just because I got a free code, I gave it a go, and it's fun. So I mean, it just goes to show you, like, you never know what you might like, you just because you think you won't like something. If you give it a try, you could have a blast. So the Adventure Pals, it's a good time. Cool. I highly recommend it. All right. So it's time for a return of our old friend, the Destiny download.
I was shaking my head because I'm not excited to talk about this.
There's been some drama about this. So Cody, what's been going on in the world of Destiny?
So this week, the Draw exotic quest came out. This is for the exotic canon, the last word. This is a Destiny 1 exotic, and it's used by the famous hunter Shin Malphur. So like, this is something I've been excited about since I announced it. Like, I was like, fuck yes, like, I like Shin Malphur because it's tied into Dredge and Yor and like the Drifter, and I'm like, cool, like we're gonna get some like storyline stuff, and like we're gonna see Shin Malphur finally. And it's just like, I've been feeling a little burnt out by Destiny because of their like very convoluted, like, do this step and then do this step and then do this step, and like it keeps going for like way too fucking long for me personally. So the last word quest drops, and like I was like, all right, let me read up a little bit on it like before I start, because I was at work, and it's like 8 steps, and like there's some convoluted ones. Like the second step is defeat Guardians in the Crucible. You get 2% for every kill, 1% for every assist, but you lose 1% anytime you die. Cool, like it's forcing you to play PvP a little bit, but like I don't like whoever invented that system, because there's another system the same for the Shotgun Chaperone. Mm-hmm. And that one was like with Void, Solar, and Arc. So that was even harder, because like if you were working on one and then swapped midway through, like you would lose progression on the other. And like it's just, and like this caused like a little bit of outcry. It's like, granted, this gun is mainly made for PvP. The last word is a like monster in PvP. So like, but like, as someone who wanted to experience the story of aspect of it, and like I wanted to like see what happens, like how we get it, like is Shin Malphur involved at all, stuff like that. It kind of like is a really hard wall for people who aren't into PvP. And like, I like Destiny PvP. It's not my fucking favorite, and I don't. And like, luckily this week was Mayhem, and so like you get a super every couple seconds, and that's like a guaranteed kill almost anytime you use it. So like that was a little bit helpful. The thing that like really bothered me and got to me was there was an opportunity here for a really beautiful story with Shin Malphur and like him giving us the gun. Spoiler, that doesn't fucking happen at all. Like, it's the way you get this gun, I think, is fucking bullshit. And like I was like, it made me not want to even do it. Like I was like, I'm not gonna play like with Anthem around the corner. I'm not even sure how much Destiny I'll be playing in the future. Yeah. Like, I'm a little burnt out by the constant like 9,000 quest steps just to get something done. Like it's kind of getting to me at this point.
It's just like busy work, right? I mean, it's not like you're getting anything emotional for it or like any of your story beats. Like, it's just like, here, do this. Here's something to keep you busy for a while because you wanted some content. And
like I'm not even like 650 on any of my characters, and I don't have a reason to want to be like like. I'm close to 650, so hey, when the season of Drifter starts, like I'll be able to do any of the content. Like, it's whatever. I don't know, like it's like it really bums me out because like this has been something I've been like waiting for. The coolest part about this quest is the Bungie rewards that I'd have to pay money for if I really wanted to get them, and I'm not doing that right now.
Yeah.
Like that's the coolest aspect because like there's a nice cool long sleeve shirt, and then you can also like if you wanted to get a replica of the last word, and like that's cool and all. I think the other honestly cool thing is they finally announced that like, so Dredgen Yor, who was like Shinra 4's like arch nemesis, pretty much. Let's say that the Joker to his Batman, had a gun.
The Molag Bal to his Khajiit.
Yeah, it's Molag Bal. Please show some respect for the goddess teams. He had a hand cannon called the Thorn, and in Destiny 1, it shot. Its bullets put a damage over time effect on anybody it hit. So like it was a monster in the Crucible, but it also was good in PvE. And that gun's making a return. And I'm hoping to God there is a better fucking storyline than this last word one. Because if not, I'm gonna be really pissed. So like I'm like I finished the PvP requirement, and like I think I'm about to have to go do a quest or something. I guess like a mission to go like do something. And I don't know, like I'm just really bummed out. Like there was a lot of opportunity here, and instead
wait, have you not finished the thing? All 8 steps?
No, I haven't.
Well, then
I've watched it.
Oh, you've watched it. I was like, there could still happen. No.
Oh no, I was like, oh, I want to know what happens.
No, nothing
and I was
happens.
At work, so
that sucks.
It's very anticlimactic for what I was hoping for. Like I was like, oh, cool, like finally get to see Shinra 4. Fuck yeah, and no, I was like, ah, damn it. So. And like Destiny is fun to play. Like I was having fun, but like I was just sitting there like I'm bored out of my mind, kind of. Yeah,
I mean I haven't been back to Destiny in a while. I've had a longing to just go back and play the first mission from Destiny 2, like start a new character and start that mission again, just because I love it. Like up until you get to the farm, like I feel like that's just such a great section of video game. And like I would love to go play that again. But like just playing regular Destiny now, it's like I said, it seems like a lot of busy work. And like the new content that's coming, I'm just like, I don't know. I just don't want to work that hard to do it, I guess. I like stories, and I feel like maybe games as a service isn't necessarily for me as much. Like, I just want a good story playthrough, and like if there's not story, I'm like, maybe I'm done. I mean, no game has to last forever in your list to play, So, but yeah, this one, like I just heard about all this stuff and the kerfluffle with this quest. And then, like, I saw some stuff on Twitter about it, and because I guess some people are complaining that it's too hard to set a PvP goal where you have to do that, and like you're getting penalized for your deaths. Because some people just are not good at PvP, and like I'm one of those. You said you got mayhem mode where each super is a guaranteed kill. I'm the exception to that rule because I've activated my super many a time just to get killed by somebody else who is supering. So like I know that I would have a horrible time with that, and I probably wouldn't be able to get that done. But like I saw this tweet where somebody was like, all you have to do is get a 0.5 kill death ratio and you can do that. And like if you can't manage that, then you don't deserve to have this. And I was just like, whoa. Yeah. Okay.
I saw that tweet, and that's from a dude who's a like streamer on PC, and like it's his job to play Destiny, and like that's a cool that's cool. You can say that from where you stand, but like there are people who like want to play this game and have fun and do everything they paid for.
Exactly.
And if they're not good at PvP, like I don't know, like there's just so many ways they could have gone about that better. Like they could have, I don't know. Like, because, yeah, it is a gun that's, like, it's really made for PvP. Like, it's a very strong gun in PvP.
Okay.
But, like, any gun can be used anywhere.
Exactly. I'm like, because people were saying it's a PvP gun, so you've got no business getting it if you're not into PvP. And I'm like, okay, well, until a gun stops working in PvE, it is not a PvP gun. Guns work everywhere. So I got mad about that also. But yeah, just like seeing that, I mean, made me feel bad about myself. I was like, oh, well, yeah, I guess, you know, this stuff wasn't made for me because I can't do that and I don't have any desire to do that. And, you know, I paid for the season pass, but like, haven't used any of it and probably won't because it's just like these hard quest steps that don't have a lot of story behind them, which isn't what I want to do. So it was just like a disappointing week for Destiny, like seeing all that stuff, and just it hurts me that people are still into Destiny and want to do these things and might not be able to just because of the way the quest is structured. And that sucks for them because, like you said, they paid for this content. And I mean, this is stuff that they're supposed to be able to do to keep them busy. And they're not able to do it. So it's just a sad situation. And it's unfortunate. But I don't know. What are you going to do?
Yeah. I mean, your comment about like maybe live service games are not for you, I think we'll tie into this next section we go into.
Oh, wait, Cody. Oh my God, I forgot to tell you. I have breaking news. It's been a while since we've had breaking news, and I think this one is pretty exciting. Okay, so just a little while before we started the podcast, our dear friend Hugh from Talking Games sent me a message, and he was like, "Hey, have you heard about this? There are rumors that Titanfall is getting a Battle Royale mode, and it's a stealth launch, and it's releasing on Monday, and tomorrow on Saturday it's going to get announced because this YouTuber has broken the story." Okay, so we don't know if this is for real or not. It could still just be a rumor, but you know, just say the word Titanfall and I'm excited. Okay, so apparently a lot of streamers like have already played it and are going to be like part of the announcement tomorrow. So they said like Shroud and Dr. Disrespect. I don't know. Cody, what do you think the probability is that this might be a true rumor?
I honestly can't tell if you're fucking with me or not right now.
I am 100% not fucking with you. This is just my excitement from this. So it was on a website called just comicbook.com. And like,
okay, they're not a reliable source at all.
No, well, that's why it's a rumor. So it was referencing a YouTube video from like a popular streamer. I don't know who it was. I didn't watch the video. I just read the story because it was just real recent. But here's what it says. So it says that it's going to have, the game mode is going to be 3-player teams, and there will be like different classes, and it'll just be a battle royale between the teams. So, you know, instead of like duos or squads, it's a 3-man team. I'm sorry, 3-person team. Yeah. So you're making this face. So I know. It's like...
Time out. Is it still 100 people just with the teams can only be up to 3?
Well, obviously it's not going to be 100 because like that doesn't add up correctly. So I don't know. I don't know how many teams there will be. But I don't know. This is it's speculation, Cody. We don't know. But
I mean, if it's true, happen. I'm intrigued. I may have to bust out the old copy of Titanfall 2.
Actually, I believe it's like a separate thing because it would be free to play. There will be in-game currency that you can earn, and then microtransactions for cosmetics, is what it says. So.
I like... People at home listening to this, I honestly cannot tell you if Sam is fucking pulling the most giant debate in the world. I don't know.
I absolutely promise you that I am not making this up. There is a story. Hugh sent it to me. I read it online. It's a rumor.
It's just very weird that in between Destiny and our Anthem advisor and Arrival Advisory, you have to bring up Titanfall 2. I'm very fucking confused, okay?
Well, you know how I like to do my breaking news. I like to interject it. I like to surprise you with it. But also, like, I don't want it to be in the middle of a section where I've just talked a lot or I'm about to talk again. So I thought this would be the best place to put it in. That's just why it happened.
If it's true, that's cool. I don't trust anything comicbook.com has posted in like 20 years. Just me.
Okay. What do you think the likelihood is that this is true?
I'm gonna go a solid 69%.
I appreciate that. All right, that's creepy. Get away from the camera. Stop it.
See what I did there?
Back up.
Did you see?
Back up. Stop it.
What do you think, Sam? What do you think the percentage is?
I mean, really, it's 50-50 for me. Like, I don't know. I don't know where all this came from. It seems mighty suspicious that it's just like out of the blue. I like my stealth launches, so like if it's true, I think it would be awesome. Actually, here are my big concerns, okay? I love Titanfall. I think it would be awesome to have a Titanfall battle royale, even though battle royales are not my favorite. So I don't know how much I would like it, but I would definitely want to try that out. But I hope and I pray that if this is true, we're still getting a Titanfall 3. Because, like, they've talked about a new Titanfall game, and if this is the Titanfall game that's coming this year, that's not what I want. I want Titanfall 3 with a story, and multiplayer as well, yes. But I just, like, if that's all we're getting, I would be extremely disappointed. So.
If this is real, they may be doing this as a way to hold fans over, and then they may announce a delay on Titanfall 3.
I mean, I really don't feel that they've ever announced enough about Titanfall 3 to announce a delay. Like, it's never... I don't think they've clearly said it's coming out this year. They've said there's going to be a Titanfall 3, I believe, and I think everything else has just been wishful thinking on my part. Like, I don't think
I thought they had said it was going out in 2019. Okay.
Nah, I don't believe so.
Then this may just be, like, to generate interest again in Titanfall and to kind of, just hold people over until the next game comes out.
I mean, because Respawn's got a lot going on between Titanfall and the Star Wars Jedi The Fallen Order.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they've been working on this Battle Royale... But, I mean, how tough... Okay, again, let me say I'm not a game developer, so I don't know. But how hard is it to take your multiplayer game mode and just change some parameters so that, it's a three-person squad, and you've only got one life per person? I mean, maybe it's not that hard for them to create this, and then they could still have time to work on like a full Titanfall 3. Maybe. Wishful thinking again. I don't know.
I guess it kind of depends on like the structure of Respawn, because like if they had a separate team working on this while the main team focused on Jedi Fallen Order, and then after Jedi Fallen Order launches, they'll put everybody back on Titanfall 3.
Oh, that seems like a long time away then, Cody, for Titanfall 3.
If Titanfall 3 is like in the process of being made, like...
Yeah. I don't know.
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see. So on Monday, when this podcast comes out, you should know whether this was a rumor or whether it's true. And we'll just have to wait and see. So, I don't know. I don't know what I'm keeping my fingers crossed for. Like, I don't know if I really want it to be true or if I want it to be just complete bullshit so that they're definitely just working on Titanfall 3. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But there you go. That's it for breaking news, Cody. So, thanks for tagging along for that and being a good sport.
Yeah. Because it's like, man, I really thought you were fucking with me. I was like...
I have this agreement with one of my friends, that we can lie to each other, but if you ask someone 3 times if they're telling you the truth, then like you have to come clean and say you were lying. Okay, and that's a promise I will make to you. If I'm ever lying about something, ask me 3 times, and then I'll tell you if I was lying. But this one I definitely was not lying about this. This is a true story that I saw. So Okay. So moving along, after I threw my interjection in there, it's time. Let's see if I can do this, okay? It's time for the Anthem Arrival Advisory.
Yeah,
I got it that time.
You did it. Good job. Right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So going back to what you said with the Destiny thing about how like maybe live service games are not for you. Live service games have always kind of been for me because of like an MMORPG is a live service because it's constantly being updated and like adding stuff. But I think what's kind of taking me away from Destiny because I'm tired of the long, contrived, like busy work. When I look at Anthem and I'm like, well, no, everything I do is going to be like, you know, short, like go to a stronghold, set it to a difficulty, get some gear from it. Like, I like the idea of that because at least I know that the time I'm putting in is going to reward me. And that's what kind of is really exciting me for Anthem right now because like...
Hold on though. But like, isn't, say, going and doing a stronghold, wouldn't that be similar to doing a strike in Destiny?
Yes, but when's the last time you did a strike that wasn't part of your milestones? They actually rewarded you with something.
So after, like, we don't know about the end game of Anthem yet. So after you reach max level, how do you know that it's still going to be rewarding?
Kind of do.
You do? Did I miss some news about the end game?
So today, some stuff came out about the end game. They kind of talked a little bit more about...
breaking news! Cody has an update on Anthem end game. Because I missed it.
Once you hit level 30... you get, you start getting masterwork gear. And what masterwork gear is, it's either going to be a rarity, like you can get a masterwork weapon, but then there are going to be special masterworks that are like, have a special like ability tied to them. So like, let's say you get a masterwork component for the ranger that makes it to where anytime you do your melee, you get a damage increase for like 20 seconds. Like stuff like that. Like and so like you're going to be hunting for these masterworks, but then on top of that, there's going to be legendaries, which are equivalent to like Destiny's exotics. And these are like one rare, like one of a kind items. Wait. Last week I was discussing this and I mixed it up. So if
I'm still confused. So which is higher, the masterwork or the legendary?
Legendary is the higher one. So it's like masterwork, then legendary.
Okay.
Legendaries are going to be that, but like with two unique.
Nice.
And like they're nothing is like masterworks like can roll the same but have different like bonuses and stuff. Legendaries are going to be 100% unique and like these things you kind of like chase and hope for. Yeah. So kind of cool. Like that's kind of like what the end game of Anthem is like going to be, hunting for these things. And then doing whatever content they haven't shown us yet. There was a leaked Reddit thing that got deleted very quickly. And so it's coming from a guy who's like, oh, I have insider info. Like, this is what Shaper Storms are. Because they have mentioned, like, Shaper Storms are out there.
Yeah.
And, like, we don't know if we can believe it or not. But it's pretty much like...
Okay, go ahead and say what it is. But I'm also going to say, like, I feel like the developers have said this before. So, like, I don't know what the big deal is. Like, I feel it's yes.
The guy who leaked it pretty much said that Shaper Storms are going to change a portion of the map, and it's going to be like how in Fortnite, when the map changes, like it's going to do this for like a week at a time, and like these things are going to be constantly rotating, and like when these Shaper Storms happen, a world boss will show up, and that world boss will have unique loot, and you're going to have to get people together and go kill them, and you can set the difficulty all the time, and like, you know, you keep getting better loot the higher you go, and like that seems pretty interesting because it's like a you have in the game world event, but it's like a super world event. So like that's pretty cool.
But I feel like that's what developers have said, that like this world can change because of the Shaper Storms. Like I don't.
They just haven't. I think the thing here is the world boss part. Like they haven't confirmed that.
Okay. But it seems reasonable.
The post got deleted very quickly, so like I don't know. Sometimes you can believe that, sometimes you can't. It'd be cool if that's true. I think we'll find out. Well, will hopefully have come out by the time you're hearing this podcast. I don't know, like, but that, like, Anthem is like, I never got to get into Diablo, but like every time I hear someone talk about Diablo, it's because like, oh yeah, because like I can ramp up the difficulty and keep going back and keep playing through this stuff over and over, and I keep getting better loot, and I change my builds of my characters, and like I want to experience that, but like I'm just haven't like dedicated the time to Diablo, and then with Anthem, I feel like I could do that, and like that's kind of what like I'm excited for with it a lot, and like I don't know, like I'm just really drawn to that right now. And like with Destiny, I'm like, I don't like your busy work right now. Like, please.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah. So time you're listening to this, the open beta has just ended. And so last week we talked about, I got to play, 2 of the Javelins, the Ranger and the Interceptor. And then the next night, like the day after we recorded, they opened it, and anyone who was in the VIP demo could play all 4 Javelins.
Which was really cool of them. Yeah, I mean, really cool.
You
know, they're like, hey, we want to, you know, we know that it was a rough weekend for you guys, and they wanted to make up for it. So, I mean, that was a really cool way to make up for it, letting us try out all 4 Javelins. So that was appreciated.
And so Sam finally got to unlock another Javelin, and then I think...
Finally.
Yeah.
Finally, I got it. Let me tell you guys, I love Storm so much. It's my favorite. I think part of it is just because like you can hover for so long with it, and I like just being in the air and hanging out, and it just feels so nice up there. You said earlier that you were not as into Storm. You felt like it wasn't super effective, but like I felt like I was doing good work when I was playing as a Storm, so I was happy with it.
Yeah, so I was playing, and I kind of was like, okay, the like place I want to be is like I'm hovering around, because I had a component that like made to where like my engines would overheat slower, and then already you overheat slower when you're hovering as a Storm. I was like, cool, that's a good combo. And then I had 2 snipers. I had the one charge up, and then I had the one that's just like a rapid fire sniper. And I ran the Stronghold on hard. And, like, I like the Storm when... Like, I like setting people up for combos. The only issue is my teammates were doing the combos sometimes. And then I had my, like, detonator ability was, like, this lightning strike. But sometimes, like, I would aim the lightning strike, and then my character would move a slight inch, and the thing would move. And, like, I'd just cast out a lightning bolt right in front of me. I was like, this doesn't feel, like, good to me.
I didn't have that problem with my lightning bolts. I was pretty skilled with mine.
Okay,
so.
All right, well, good for you. I like the kind of hovering in the air and like being that like sniper guy in the back. Like I like that a lot. And like I think this Storm has like one of the cooler like personalization. Like the cape is just kind of cool.
Oh my god, like, I love the cape. It's so cool.
Although I had a weird glitch where like when you're loading up in the Javelin for the first time and they do that cutscene where like you like it did that, but he didn't have a cloak, and so it's just like me like flexing and stuff. And I'm like, this kind of looks a little weird without the cloak. Like I don't know.
Nice.
And so I like the Storm. It's just like so after they unlocked everything, I played the Colossus, and I had a lot of fun with the Colossus because I don't know, the combo effect for the Colossus is it just makes explosions. And then its ultimate is you pull out this like giant like cannon and you just are shooting off like 3 shots, and like it's satisfying when you hear the noise because it's almost like a nuke is dropping.
Nice.
And so like kind of like after my playtime with all 4 of them, like I feel like I'm leaning more towards the Ranger and the Colossus because like Storm, like I just didn't like how squishy I was at times. Like if I like was just out of position for like 1 second and something hit me too hard, I was down and out. And like,
do you know what your problem is, Cody? It's that playing on hard. Let me tell you, when I'm playing on easy, I am just fine. I'm not getting taken out as quickly as you guys seem to think the Storm will be. So just play on easy, and it's no big deal.
Well, I mean, I want to get the better gear. I like the challenge.
And that's the really good thing about Anthem. Unlike Destiny, you can set the difficulty for what you want to do, and so it's so accessible for everybody, and they're different what they want to get out of it. So that's really cool. So
And I'm not a big fan of the Interceptor. Like, I like the Interceptor. It feels satisfying to be dashing around. I know I said last week I was a big fan.
You liked it so much.
But as I thought about it more, like, you're not using your guns as much. You're not really using your abilities as much. Like, legitimately, you're just running up the things and smashing triangle for PlayStation. And, like, I don't know if that's a playstyle I want to just constantly be doing. Like,
I wasn't doing that.
Oh, okay. Well,
maybe I wasn't playing it right. I was just throwing my stars.
The melee is just so
shooting
strong.
Stuff.
Like, it's ridiculous. Like, you shred through shields like nobody's business.
Huh.
Like, the movement for the Interceptor is really satisfying. It's just, like, I don't want to be stuck in that playstyle of, like, constantly hitting triangle. And, like, the ultimate's really fun. I'll give it that. Like, because, like, I found out that with the Interceptor ult, like, you really just need to hit something once, and then you kind of make this, like, spectral version of yourself appear on the enemy, and they just constantly keep attacking. And that's really cool. I didn't know that. It's like a dot almost. But yeah, I don't know, like, I really like the Ranger. Like, it's just kind of like that all around, like, all right, I use my abilities, I use the guns, and the guns feel good. And then the Colossus just feels really good. I'm, like, really excited to go back and play more Colossus, because I just want to I want to see everything to do with him.
But the really cool thing is, like, we get all 4. You'll unlock all 4 during your play, and you can just switch back and forth whenever you want to play with one or the other. So that's really cool.
Yeah, in Destiny, the Titan is my main. Like, I played the other 2 classes, but, like, I know I'm going to have, my mindset is, like, I want to get everything for this character, for this Javelin, and, like, upgrade it to hell, and, like, that's what I would really want. So I'm trying to figure out, like, what one I want to focus in on. Yeah. And, like, I feel like right now I'm kind of looking at the Ranger of the Colossus.
I feel like we should take bets about how much you're gonna specialize and how much you're gonna be like, no, I'm gonna go get stuff on these other ones too, because, like, you're a maniac and you want to play everything. I think you're gonna be loading up all of your javelins. I bet.
I mean, yeah, eventually I do want to have, like, builds for everything, because you never know. Like, hopefully they announce raids for this. Like, I feel like they've kind of hinted at it, but they don't want to spoil anything with the story. And, like, if, say, we need a storm, because, like, the thing about storm is the storm is super good for priming enemies for combos. Like, you have so many ice effects, and I feel like ice is, like, one of the best status effects in the game, because just locking something down for a set period of time is so handy. But yeah, the game it's so good feeling. Like, it's insane. I feel like the open demo has been a little bit better. Like, they had an issue earlier where the Xbox Live Services was down, and so, like, Xbox people couldn't play for a little bit, but that got back up really quickly.
And I feel like that was Xbox, because Xbox was having problems the night before with other stuff. So, I mean, that wasn't, I feel like EA just got the short end of the stick that time. Like, I don't think that was really their fault. I think Xbox was just having some problems.
And, like, I've seen some, like, people were like, oh, it crashes a lot, but, like, I feel like it's a lot less than last week. Last week was, like, almost everyone was having issues. Yeah. This time, it's like, okay, for the most part, like, one crash, and then I've been good since. Yeah. And so that's really good. But yeah, like, just everything about the game, it feels good. Like, the flying, the shooting. Like, I'm so excited for the full launch. And, like, so I'm really bad about, like, spoiling stuff for myself. Like, but, like, I'm really trying to go in and not know anything about this. Like, on my YouTube, they're, like, suggested, like, oh, like, I guess they let people film the first mission at one of these capture events, and they're letting certain people post it. And so, like, YouTube's like, oh, because you watch Anthem videos, watch the first part. And I'm like, no. I want this story to be special. And then, like, someone was like, oh, hey, the Anthem trophies are up and out there in the wild now. And I'm like, no, don't want to read those. Like, no, thank you. Will I be going for the platinum? I think I'm going to. I didn't look at them, but I'm gonna go for it.
I'm sure you will.
But yeah, so did you play any other? Have you gotten to play it all today?
I didn't play today. Okay. So I will later. But yeah, let me just make a quick PSA, people. Okay, because apparently this came up last weekend. Those grabbits, those are friendly, and you do not need to be shooting them. Okay, if they're cute and adorable and they don't have a red bar over their head, stop shooting them. It's not very nice, Cody.
Okay, I didn't shoot any rabbits. I was testing out my Colossus shield, and I was charging forward, and before I knew it, what I was doing, I smashed into a Grabbit and killed it. So
Cody, with great power must come a great, I can't say it, great responsibility. So
I guess
you're responsible for your actions, and you just need to be aware of your surroundings when you're swinging that shield around. Okay.
Okay.
That Grabbit had a family.
That family no longer has a Grabbit.
Not that one, anyway.
Not that one.
So, but like, I hear they reproduce like Grabbits, so it'll be fine. There's gonna be more. So.
God damn it, Sam. and I'm so excited. Like, 21 days. Well, this comes out on the 4th, correct? So 18.
Like 3. Yeah. Math. It's real soon.
Real soon. So excited. Can't wait. If PS4 had the Origin thing, you bet your sweet ass I'd be subscribing to that to play this on the 15th. So.
That's another thing where there's been like a lot of flack going around right now about people getting mad about this staggered launch and the fact that they'd have a graphic to show like when people can play it. Now I'm personally not upset about this. I mean, I think it's fine. You know, you buy the game to play on release day, it's fine. If you're pay extra money to be in like one of these special services, sure, why shouldn't you get to play it early? I mean, they want you to pay to be a part of their service, so it needs to have perks to make it worth your while. And playing early is one of those perks. So it's like, okay, I mean, that's fine. So, I don't know.
I could understand if this game had like, let's say PvP. Because, it's a week that it's like a week early that people start to get gearing up and like they have an advantage over you if you go to PvP. This is a strictly PvE game. It's not going to matter like if they've been playing for an extra week than you. Like you're going to play the game and experience it at your own rate. Like it's not a big deal. I can kind of see a little bit why people are upset because it's just like what happened to the good old days where games were all released at the same time for everybody. But like if you're subscribing to this Origin Premiere thing or whatever it's called, maybe you deserve a bonus because you're paying a little bit extra. Like, yeah. I mean, that's as simple as that. Like, I'm not bothered by it.
Companies have to make money, so you know that's fine.
Yeah. Speaking of companies having to make money, do you want to go to our news?
What?
So speaking of people.
Okay. I didn't quite hear the first part, and I was like, what did you say? Okay. He was trying to do a great segue. Didn't work out. My bad. I'm failing as a host today. So, fun fact, when I played my Resident Evil playthrough, at the end you get a grade, and I got a C, which turns out is the lowest grade you can get. What are you gonna do? So my grade for a podcast today is probably a C as well, and I'm sorry for that.
We'll see by the end.
I'll try and do better. Maybe I can bring it back. So for our news story, we're running. I think we're running at a decent length today, so we're just gonna do one news story. And this one I found quite interesting. Okay, so Metro Exodus, which is coming out on February 15th. It was originally on the Steam store, and you could make your pre-orders for it. And this week, it was announced that Metro Exodus will be exclusive to the Epic Games Store for the first year. Okay? Now, if you've already pre-ordered on Steam, you still get it. They're still going to honor that. And when they have DLC or anything else, you'll still be able to get it through Steam. So, like, if you got in, you got in and you're fine. But this just blew my mind, okay, when I heard this, because when we've talked about Epic Games Store and when we talked about The Division saying they're going to be on the Epic Games Store, I was like, yeah, no, I understand how this works. You know, Epic Games Store was talking to their game companies and they had all of this worked out ahead of time and they're just like waiting to make announcements on it. But like, yeah, it was all worked out a long time ago. But this obviously proves that it was not all worked out a long time ago because Metro Exodus had planned to be on Steam. It was already on Steam. And then they said, oopsie, no, we're going to take that away and we're going to go over to Epic Games Store. And that's just like, that just seems mean. Like you kind of like gave your word you were going to do it one way and then like all of a sudden you change at the last minute and go back on your word. And I'm just like, man. And that makes you think that, like, we've been talking about how Epic Games Store is a good deal for the developers because they're not taking as big of a percentage. But also, like, this one makes you think that, like, maybe Epic Games Store is, like, just straight out paying money to game developers to get them to come be on their site. Because, like, I don't know, man, to make someone leave in the middle of whatever agreement they must have already had with Steam, I'm just like, I don't know. Cody, what are you thinking about this?
I didn't look at it like that. Metro Exodus was announced, I think, like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, and 2 years ago, obviously, the Epic Games Store did not exist. Epic Games Store only started being, like, around last December. So, I think, like, up until then, like, you just put your game out on Steam. It's just kind of a go-to thing. And then when you hear about, oh, Epic's offering 90 to 10, obviously we're going to put our game on that. We're going to go put our game on that because we're going to get more money out of it. The 1 year exclusivity thing, yeah, that is Epic buying.
Yeah.
Like, that's being like, hey, we'll pay you extra to come over here.
Yeah.
So that's a little fucked up in a way, I feel, like, because it is like you're buying away any competition you would have. But, like, that thing is going to happen in business. I don't agree with it personally because it is kind of fucked up.
I just feel like it's, I don't want to say unethical. I just feel like it's rude to have made an agreement. It's a little scummy. It's scummy is what it is.
Yeah. Like, that'd be like if, let's say, what's a big... I
was trying to think of, like, something that I could say this is like, and, like, I couldn't come up with anything.
Like, if Call of Duty was like, hey, this year's Call of Duty is Call of Duty Infinity War 9000. It's going to be on every platform. And at the last second, PlayStation's like, no, it's not. You're going to be exclusive to us now. And they bought it away. Like...
but see, like, I was trying to think of something like that, but then I'm like, no, because... you're still playing on the same platform. It's not like you have to go buy a new console to be able to play it. You just have to download a different launcher. So, I mean, it's a free, it's not like you're cutting someone out based on hardware.
Now, see, a lot of the outrage I've seen is because people don't want to download the Epic Game Store. Like, they feel like they're being forced, if they want to play this game, to go to the Epic Game Store. And to that I say, how fucking lazy are you to not just download the next thing? Like, it's one click over. Like, I don't understand.
Okay, but I read this other article. I think it was on, like, usgamer.net, and someone was talking about how the Epic Game Store is not as developed and doesn't have the functionality that a Steam has, because, like, it's just a first-year game store that just launched. Steam has, like, 15 years to have gotten good about stuff. So, like, Epic Game Store doesn't have reviews. It doesn't have a built-in chat function. So you're getting less service from it, which, I mean, who uses Steam chat? I don't know. But yeah,
I would
so
just, like, for a multiplayer game, or, like, if, like, Steam is where you, like, go to play multiple games with your friends, and you're like, oh, hey, we'll party up and, like, do this thing real quick. It's Metro Exodus is a single player game. Like, what is and I'm sure, like, these things are being developed. Like, it's still a new product. Like,
oh, also, just stating the facts here. So, Metro Exodus is $59.99 on your consoles, or I think if you pre-ordered it on Steam. On Epic Game Store, it's going to be $49.99. So you're saving $10 paying for it there. It's just like, there's so much going on with this new story.
On one side, I can see why the developers and the producers behind Metro Exodus went to Epic Game Store, because it's a 90-10, not 90-10. What is it again? 70-30? No, is it 90-10?
That's what Steam was. Yeah, I think it's 90-10. No, wait. 12? No, wait, 10? Well, because I think Discord was lower.
Yeah, Discord was the 90-10.
Okay. And I think it's
Epic Games Store
12.
has a better split for the people making the game. So it makes sense to put your product out on there. The 1 year exclusivity and pulling it from the Steam store at the last second, at least honoring pre-orders, that's nice. Because, like, honestly, they could.
Well, I mean, I think that's the least they could do legally. I feel like probably, just to avoid lawsuits.
So, like, from one aspect, like, I can understand where they're coming from. They want to make more money off this game, and be charged less for putting it up on a service. On the other hand, it is a scummy practice. I hope Epic Games Store like realizes like they can't do this very often, because if this becomes a reoccurring practice, it's gonna be it's bad. Like, don't do that. Like, people are gonna call you out on it eventually. And I'm sure Epic Games Store will get the chat and the review thing going. Like, it's gonna take some time to build up a service. Steam didn't do it overnight. Like,
no, yeah.
So it is scummy. I hope we don't see it anymore, but I do understand where the people behind Metro Exodus are coming from.
I mean, it's like, at the time this was announced, I mean, it was less than 3 weeks away from the release of the game. That just seems like, dude, make your decisions before that. You know?
I mean, like, Epic Games Store got launched in December, so like, if they went to Epic Games Store, there's obviously legal stuff that has to happen. So it probably took time, and like, this is just when it happened. And like, I hope it doesn't hurt the game that much. I do think it will, because there's already people writing negative reviews about the game on like Steam and like
they're writing negative reviews about the previous 2 Metro games, because those are the ones that are available for reviews. They're review bombing that, which is, it's unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see how the rest of this year plays out.
So
yeah.
Okay. Well, on that just weird news note, I think we're gonna call it a night. So, once again, a reminder. So you've got a couple of weeks to think of your fantastic questions for our 50th episode. And we're really looking forward to seeing that. You can email them to us at contact@geekheartgames.com. If you want to just put them out there publicly and not have surprise questions, you can get us on Twitter and Facebook at Geek Heart Games. I haven't done this in a while. I'm like off. I don't know. We've got videos at geekheartgames.com/YouTube, and we've got live streams at twitch.tv/geekheartgames. Fun fact, I just did my Future Grind stream a couple nights ago. I love that game so much, Cody. It's so much fun. I had a blast on it. Spoiler alert, I got to the end and rolled credits, and I was talking about how much I love it, and I hope they would make some DLC or like a second game already. Credits ended, and like there was more to the game. I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited. So I'm still playing it. But yeah, that's a blast. So you can see that still on Twitch for a while, and then I'll get that uploaded on YouTube. If you want to buy a shirt, you can go to geekheartgames.com/shirts. And we would love for you to give us a review on iTunes or your podcast service of choice. I'm on Twitter as SKSUVAK. Cody?
I am at Comic Book Cody.
All right. Until next time, everyone, have a lovely week. Cody, take it away.
We're just 2 geeks who heart games. Do. Molag Ball.
I don't know why it's so funny, but it is.
I don't know either. So for those of you who are not in the Discord, the other day I was listening to this podcast and they mentioned Jaws, and I don't know how my train of thought was running, but next thing I was like, how do sharks fuck? And so I go and I put this in the Discord, and everyone's like, it's a little weird, Cody. Like, it's a little strange to be thinking about.
Well, and I didn't say anything at the time, but my question was going to be, why do they have to be fucking? Why can't they be making love? You never know, Cody.
I mean, that's a good point.
Sharks could be so romantic.
They probably could. And so I decided that I would take one for the team here. And
let me reiterate, nobody asked you to do this. Nobody else cared but you. So you're not really taking one for the team. You did this for yourself.
Okay, I just really want to know. Okay, like one time I had a similar question about snakes, and so this is a nice thing. So snakes, they just wrap themselves around each other and then slither like into each other, and somehow that's how they reproduce. Seems fun.
Sounds legit.
I guess.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, let me do a quick Google search. See, when I did the snake thing, I at least was in incognito mode. I forgot to do that for the shark question. And so our friend Starry in the Discord pointed out to me, she's like, wow, you're going to get some weird ads and stuff. I'm not going to go into detail how sharks have sex. Just letting everyone know that the male's genitalia is called the clasper, and it's hilarious to me.
I believe there's two of them, right? There's claspers. Is that...
Yes, there's claspers. Yes. It's a plural. And so I was like, interesting. Sharks. They're working with a lot of stuff there.
I believe, wasn't it on Friends where Monica thought Chandler was watching shark porn? Because he was watching porn one time, and then she came in, and so we changed the channel real quick, and it was like Shark Week. So like she could tell what he'd been doing, and so she thought he was doing that to sharks, and it was a whole funny storyline. So.
I mean, hey, we don't judge.
Whatever you like, man.
So first, I haven't been getting any weird targeted ads for shark porn. So not having it.
That's good.
I did go out to eat with some friends, and we were at Applebee's. And Applebee's has a signature drink right now with Captain Morgan rum called the Shark Bowl. And it comes with a little gummy shark who sits on the edge and looks at you while you drink it. And I was crying laughing at my friend who bought this.
How big is the gummy shark?
Fucking like, dude, like this big. it's like the size of like a pencil almost. Like
that's what she said.
That's how long it was. That's what she said. Yeah. And so the other running joke is that I have Pedialyte ads all the time. Don't know why. Pedialyte just really likes to target me with ads, and it's ridiculous, and it gets really annoying. So I was like, okay, like I want to like. I've also been looking for phone plans, so I've been getting a lot of phone plan ads. So I was like, all right, whatever next like set of ad I get for a while, like this is because of the shark Google thing.
Yeah.
So I haven't made this known in the Discord, so this is an exclusive.
Oh.
For the past 2 days, I've gotten the same ad on Twitter, Facebook, my YouTube channels, and my Twitch channels for a phone line that you can. It's like an app you can download onto your phone, and it's so you can call home to India. And I was like, I don't know how this connection was made, and I was like, I guess maybe there are sharks near India.
I guess,
but. It's been that same ad, and like every time, you know when you've heard something like way too many times, and you start to get really fucking annoyed by it. Yeah. I'm really fucking annoyed by it at this point. I'm like I personally would rather be getting like ads from like the Discovery Channel about Shark Week coming up. Like that's what I would prefer to have right now.
Yeah.
Because at least then there's some like spice and variety. Instead, it's just when you want to call home to India, download Rebtel. I don't care.
You get the weirdest ads. That makes no sense.
I do.
Yeah, I think you're probably doing stuff like I don't think you're not sleeping well, so I feel like maybe you like are, instead of sleepwalking, like you're sleep browsing on your phone, and maybe you're going to like weird stuff when you think you're sleeping, and that's why you're getting these weird ads. Maybe.
What weird things am I
I have no idea. I have no idea what you would browse to get these, but I don't know.
All right.
It's just a theory. People do weird stuff when they sleepwalk. So.
True. I'll keep everyone updated on my ads and what they are. Hopefully Rebtel leaves me alone for a little while.
Hopefully. Just Google Pedialyte a little bit and you'll get those ads back and it'll be fine.
Oh yeah.